Hi, I'm Matt Reardon with Nutrien Ag Solutions. We are closely watching an unfolding heat wave across the western U.S. here today on Tuesday. The reason for that is what we're looking at here on the screen. There's a very large anomalous upper level ridge positioned just west of California and Oregon. We can see that here just looking at the jet stream level winds. Kind of draw out what we're looking at here. It's this clockwise flow in the upper levels of the atmosphere going around that ridge, which is really indicative of how much heat is in the upper atmosphere. We talk about this as kind of your heat dome example. And unfortunately for folks on the West Coast, particularly along California, Oregon, even up into parts of Washington and Arizona, it's arriving kind of right when we expect the hottest part of the year anyway, just after the solstice, late June into July. And so when you add anomalous heat on top of that, you're looking at a very extreme heat situation. Make no mistake, this is a severe weather event that's unfolding for the western U.S. It's just not in the form of a thunderstorm or an atmospheric river or something maybe a little bit more flashy that we might get at a different time of year. We jump over and look at the National Weather Service all hazards map. This is for Tuesday around lunchtime. We see in that kind of pink, dark pink color there are excessive heat warnings, which have been posted for much of California, nearly all of the Central Valley, some of the coastal valleys, and then much, if not all, of Southern California. Excessive heat watches posted for southwest Arizona into western Nevada and up the Willamette Valley into Oregon. The heat will be arriving really already today. Temperatures are starting to spike above the triple digits in the Central Valley. That will increase into tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, where potentially the worst of it might start unfolding for California in terms of those peak triple-digit temperatures above 110 degrees Fahrenheit, and then ultimately lasting, unfortunately, through the weekend without a clear end in sight at this point. The duration of this heat event and the lack of relief with high overnight lows is what makes this particular heat wave so concerning for folks in California. If we jump over and look at the water vapor satellite here today, you can actually see that kind of heat dome, if you will, or that clockwise spinning around that upper level ridge. And that's really the weather maker here. That's what we're watching. That will start to shift east over the continental U.S. over the next 24 to 48 hours, and that's when the worst of the heat will arrive. So we'll watch this dome shift more so over the West Coast, actually pushing up into parts of the Pacific Northwest at times, bringing heat to those locations a little bit further later into this week. And we'll be watching in the forecast to shake that out of the way at some point, hopefully next week, to clear out the heat for folks in the western U.S. This is the forecast from the ECMWF model. You can see that anomalous ridge here just west of Oregon and California here on this Tuesday. If I take this forecast and through the evening into Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday toward the weekend, we can see it positioned, unfortunately, right over California, right over western Oregon, where the worst of the heat is expected Friday, Saturday, and potentially Sunday as well. Unfortunately, if I take this forecast a little bit further, out into Monday, Tuesday, next week, that ridge is still positioned over the Sierra Nevadas, western Nevada, extending up into parts of Washington, Oregon, Idaho. The heat will linger and persist through the weekend. And we're really waiting, potentially maybe even into the next work week, if I take this forecast further, without seeing a trough or some sort of pattern disruptor to shake out that heat. Now, it's not likely to be quite as strong next week as it might be here on Friday and Saturday, but nonetheless, the lack of relief is probably the most concerning thing right now in terms of where we're looking at the extreme impacts from this heat wave. Let's get into some of the forecast high temperatures here so we can see exactly what we're talking about. Here are the daytime high temperatures forecasted from the National Weather Service on Tuesday afternoon. You can see temperatures well over 100 degrees now in the Central Valley, with the Sacramento Valley on the northern side looking at temperatures near 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Triple digits plus certainly in the lower Colorado River Valley, with 114 degrees Fahrenheit forecasted for many of the communities along the river. Wednesday temperatures increasing across the region. Now Thursday spreading north up into the Willamette Valley, where temperatures will soar into the 90s, and then ultimately triple digits all the way up through Salem, Portland, parts of central and eastern Washington, talking potentially 114 degrees Fahrenheit plus in parts of the Sacramento Valley and the northern central valley of California. You can see temperatures approaching 120 degrees Fahrenheit on the lower Colorado River Valley and parts of southeastern California. Saturday, again, looking at these extreme temperatures, well over 100 degrees now in parts of the Willamette Valley and central eastern Washington, northern Oregon. The whole Central Valley of California now showing temperatures above 100 degrees, 110 degrees Fahrenheit on Saturday, July 6th. with that heat stress continuing into Sunday and perhaps waning some, but we're still talking about anomalous heat here on Monday, July 8th. Really looking out into the future, don't see an obvious way for this heat wave to end, albeit next week temperatures look not quite as extreme right now. I'll just quickly show you these anomalous temperatures. Here's Tuesday today. You can see the event really kind of already getting started close to the Delta area in central California. Wednesday, this increases in magnitude, starts to spread north on Thursday and Friday, arriving in wholesale amounts here in western Oregon and parts of western Washington. Continuing Saturday, Friday and Saturday, like I said, might be the most extreme in this event, continuing into Sunday and then into Monday where this forecast ends. Look at this ECMWF AIFS forecast to try to get a hint as to what might be kind of the pattern shift that will shake up this heat wave and get us some relief. I'm at July 11th now, Thursday of next week, now July 12th. This is all the way Friday of next week. This is really kind of getting beyond where we're going to be confident in making a forecast, but it's where we have to go in the forecast to see something, this little trough here coming out of British Columbia, that would help to bring some temperatures down a little bit across the west, and that's an unfortunate situation. Climate Prediction Center for their week 2 outlook, this is July 9th through the 15th, unfortunately circling a large area across the western U.S. for above average temperatures. That lines up with what we just saw. We don't see an obvious end to this heat wave. This is looking, unfortunately, like a 1 to 2 week duration event, and many consecutive heat and extreme records are likely liable to be broken as a result of that. We'll be watching that closely. If we just pick on Saturday here, I mentioned that might be one of the worst days. These are all the stations which could reach a daily record high temperature for that date. What I'm not showing here are the record high minimum temperatures, so record high overnight lows, which are also expected and can be just as troublesome in terms of sometimes we have these long duration heat waves, but at least we get some relief at night. We're talking low temperatures in the mid 70s. And that's just not enough to cool folks down after what's liable to be very, very hot days with a lot of heat stress. This experimental product here from the National Weather Service color codes that here for Saturday, July 6th. And what you're seeing here in that dark purple color is the most extreme heat risk index that we have here. Unfortunately, a level 4 out of 4, rare and long duration extreme heat with little to no overnight relief. Affects anyone without proper cooling or adequate hydration. This, like I said, and I'll reiterate, is a severe weather event, just not in the form of a hurricane or a tornado or a blizzard, but unfortunately high temperatures. I'll end it here today. Please stay safe, stay hydrated, check on concerned and vulnerable neighbors. PET values likely to be high as well. And stay inside, stay cool, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks for watching.